Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 essential health habits or secrets that we women should know before we turn 40. Now, I've already turned 40, so these are the habits that I've noticed I should have been paying attention to before I turned 40, but also the science seems to indicate, or the science does indicate, that these are important areas of our lives and our health that we should really be paying particular attention to. One could argue that these are habits anybody of any age should be paying attention to, and I agree. However, with our fluctuating hormones between peri to postmenopause, it's really crucial that there are certain areas and aspects of our lives that we pay attention to. Before we dive into these essentials, my name is Khadija. I am a licensed pharmacist working in the United States. On this channel, I aim to provide you with science-based health information, particularly pertaining to women's health. So I approach health from a holistic perspective, and that I look at nutrition and exercise first, but I also recognize with women's health, we might need some support with regards to using herbal remedies, supplements, and even pharmaceutical therapy if absolutely necessary. If this is something that is of interest to you, I encourage you to subscribe and also keep watching. Now back to our list. So number 1 on the list is skin. Skin is the largest organ of our body, and it serves as a protective layer to our body. The skin helps regulate our temperatures, it keeps toxins out of our bodies, and it helps us facilitate sensory perception. If something is wrong with our skin, we're going to have a lot of issues with regards to keeping toxins out of our body. It's important to understand the ways in which we damage our skin. Not only do we expose our skin to the sun for long periods of time, but when we're also dehydrated, that can also cause skin issues. And then applying toxins to our body that we're not really aware of. That includes certain makeups and certain creams and lotions that may not be best for our skin. So here's some things you're going to want to consider to help you take care of your skin. The first is, if you're going to be exposed to the sun, then you need to wear sun protection factor or broad spectrum protection. So the sun has UVA and UVB sun rays that are damaging to our skin. The SPF number that you want to consider is 30, or sun protection factor of 30, because 30 protects your skin against 97% of the sun rays. Another thing you're going to want to consider is collagen. So collagen is a protein that forms the structural foundation of the skin, and it provides the skin with strength, firmness, and elasticity. As we age, collagen levels go down, and this is what we see when we see the visible wrinkles and the saggy skin. But that being aside, we do want to consider consuming a hydrolyzed collagen. So when you go into your health store or your supermarket, you're going to look for a collagen that is hydrolyzed, and then you're going to consider adding it to your smoothies. That's kind of the best place to add your powdered collagen, or if you want to try and take it by pill or supplement. Consider doing that for skin elasticity, firmness, and strength. Another thing you're going to want to do is to wash your skin daily, especially before you sleep. You need to get those toxins and those environmental factors off of your face. You need to wash that stuff away. And you also need to apply a nourishing, hopefully toxin and chemical free, or limited, the least amount of chemicals within the cream on your face, so that it has time to soak in those nutrients over the course of your sleep. Our skin goes through a lot of harsh demands, and our face is the primary, face and hands are the primary areas where you tend to see the effects of stress and the toxins in the environment. So it's important to really take care of our skin as we age. So second on the list are sleep habits. It has been shown that as we age, our sleep habits tend to be more disruptive. It's essential to understand part of that is due to our ovarian hormones fluctuating peri to postmenopause. And so if we're better able to implement sleep habits, perhaps we will not feel the disruption as much as we age. It's not always guaranteed, but implementing a good habit is important. Here are some tips I'm going to provide you with ways in which you can improve your sleep habit as you age. Number 1, please don't eat heavy meals before bedtime. It's important to let your food digest so that you aren't feeling the effects of, let's say, heartburn or gas and bloating before you sleep. Additionally, you want to stop drinking caffeine 6 hours before bedtime, and that is because the half-life of caffeine is 6 hours. and it can disrupt your sleep if it's still lingering within your system. The second thing you can do is to put away all screens, and that includes your phone, your computer, turning off the television at least 1 hour before you sleep so that your mind has time to rest and you're not thinking of what you've just looked at on the screen, and that, you know, things are not ruminating within your mind. Number 3 on the list is to create an environment that is conducive to good sleep habits, whether it be luxurious, whether it be cool, quiet. Consider investing in some blackout screens like I have behind me here, or consider using background noise like white noise to help you if that's beneficial for you to help you sleep. Also, make sure it's dark. Just the slightest bit of light can interrupt a lot of people's sleep. So consider all of the things that I just mentioned in terms of setting up a good environment for your sleep. And while most of us should be creating enough melatonin to help regulate our sleep-wake cycles, sometimes it's not always enough. And so if you come to the point where you know your sleep is so disturbance impacting your day-to-day routines, consider talking to your local pharmacist to see if melatonin is going to be a good thing to try. Now, number 3 on the list is sugar. Sugar has been well documented to cause a lot of negative effects on our bodies. For example, sugar is linked to the increased risk of a person developing diabetes, especially if their insulin hormone is not working properly. Sugar is also linked to obesity, an increase in fat in the liver. It's been linked to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high LDL, inflammation, as well as cavities. Now, here are some of the things that I want you to consider as you're trying to eliminate sugar from your diet. So the first thing you're going to do is stop buying raw sugar. Stop buying raw sugar altogether. You don't need it in the house. If you're a baker, then we can consider that. But truthfully, sugar is not doing you any good. Now, number 2, I want you to consider learning how to read your nutrition labels. So if there are certain things in your nutrition label, you really want to steer clear of it. And that includes sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, fruit juice concentrate, and other forms of added sugar. You'll want to avoid these. Another thing to keep in mind is don't automatically replace sugar with certain alternatives like stevia or monk fruit, especially things like monk fruit, which has been documented to cause upset stomach or digestive issues, including, the runs or diarrhea. So that's something to keep in mind before you jump into just automatically replacing your sugar 1-to-1. One thing you can do to help yourself along if you have a sweet tooth is to try and incorporate low glycemic index fruit. So we're talking about your berries here: strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. These things, they're sweet enough to help you with that sweet tooth, but they don't have as much sugar compared to things like mangoes and bananas. Again, everything in moderation. Take into consideration how much of it you're eating and how much you need in order to keep your energy levels up during the day. So number 4 on the list is fitness. This topic of fitness is such a big issue because I don't think we understand how much our bodies change between the ages of 35 and 45, especially if we're not physically fit, and especially as women. What I notice is that by the time I reach my late 30s, early 40s, which I am now, it's harder to see results in the gym than before. And this is due to several factors. And not only is it environmental and stress, but of course, the hormones, which I talk a lot about on my channel. And I want you to consider doing the following things in order to get your physical fitness in shape. So number 1, please address any underlying problems you have right now. If you have knee problems, if you have back problems, if you have any joint issues, any cardiovascular issues, go and see your general practitioner or your medical doctor, your nurse practitioner, and also consider a physical therapist if that's something you need, if you need some type of rehabilitation in order to get healthier. Sometimes we're stuck in limbo because we feel so many aches and pains in our joints, we don't know what's wrong, and that prevents us from even moving. And so it's going to be important for us to first address any underlying issues and then move forward from there. Now, after you've addressed any underlying health conditions that have left you in limbo or unable to move or scared or worried, I want you to consider 3 main areas of your health that you should be focusing on, especially as you approach 40 and after 40. So it's going to be bone health, heart health, and your muscle health. So I'm going to read off some statistics here because stats are important. I got to get these right and I don't want to mess up the data on these. So the first is your heart health. It's important to get in physical activities at least 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity per week. So I would say 75 minutes if it's vigorous, 150 minutes if it's moderate. Get in those minutes every week if you can. You know, this can slash your heart rate by 35%. Also, maintaining a healthy weight helps reduce heart disease risk by up to 60%, with a 5 to 10% weight loss significantly improving your heart health. Also, please try and adopt a healthy diet. When I say healthy diet, this diet is rich in those low glycemic fruits, a lot of green leafy vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats like avocados. This helps cut heart disease risk by 25%. I've mentioned on this channel before that 2 out of every 3 Black women are at risk for cardiovascular disease. That is such a high number, and it's, you know, it's super alarming. It's something we need to address and keep working on as a community. And also, avoiding saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, sodium, and added sugar is crucial for our heart health. Now moving on to bone health. So ensure adequate calcium and vitamin D intake is occurring in your diet. So when we're talking about calcium, at least 1,000 milligrams of calcium is the standard, and then 600 to 800 international units of vitamin D. For some people, that's even too low. They need to go up. But these are the standards according to the National Institutes of Health. So these are just crucial for bone health and for the prevention of osteoporosis. Now, we need to engage in weight-bearing exercises like walking, jogging, jump rope, using weights in the gym or at home when we're doing our exercises. This can be very helpful for us to not only strength train our bodies, but also maintain our bone density and reduce the risk of bone fracture. And this reduces the risk of bone fracture by up to 50%, which is important. And we also want to avoid smoke, even secondhand smoke. And you know, inhaling secondhand smoke also increases the risk for osteoporosis if you didn't know that. So smokers face a 20 to 40% higher risk compared to non-smokers. So that's important to know. Now, moving on to muscle health. So we need to incorporate the strength training such as weightlifting and resistance bands, and this is important for our muscle mass and strength. It's also hard to maintain muscle mass as we get older. We see a increased breakdown in muscle mass as we age. Regular strength training can slash the risk of sarcopenia and muscle loss by up to 30%. In addition to the strength training, we want to make sure we're eating an adequate amount of protein from poultry, fish, beans, and tofu. And so we're aiming for about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. With our muscle health, we need to prioritize sleep and recovery. So getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep and using relaxation techniques like deep breathing, stretching, or meditation are vital for recovery and overall health. So number 5 on the list, we're talking about brain health. By incorporating healthy habits before 40, after 40, it's really important because there are certain diseases of cognitive decline present in women as we age. So that includes Alzheimer's disease and dementia. I want you to consider doing the following things. Follow a brain healthy diet that includes omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, and this can help lower the risk of cognitive decline by 25%. So you're going to want to eat more salmon, more mackerel, more tuna, more trout, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, as well as walnuts. You're also going to want to challenge your brain. Now, when I say challenge your brain, that includes participating or engaging in mentally challenging activities, including puzzles, reading, learning new skills, and even socializing and interacting with people. So just that you got your mind actively going and moving, and that can help reduce your risk of cognitive decline by 30%. And then of course, doing your exercises, your weekly exercises to help get oxygen going through your brain and through your system. That's going to be very beneficial for you. And I told you about the 75 minutes of vigorous activity to 150 minutes to moderate activity. Please try and space these out during the week. So this could be something like 5 30-minute exercises during the week. If it's too much for you at this time, cut it down to two 30-minute exercises during the week, maybe on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and then you continue to increase in your intensity and in the number of sets or the number of times you work out per week. Thank you for bearing with me as I ran through those 5 health essentials, including the supporting statistics that I really wanted to share with you so that you understand how important it is to start to manage our health in very productive ways. And earlier, the sooner we get to it, the better we'll be off, inshallah. I hope that this video has been beneficial for you. Thank you for bearing with me as I ran through those 5 health essentials that you need to know before 40 and that are also going to be beneficial for you after you turn 40. I do appreciate you sticking with me as I ran through those statistics and those numbers and values, because I really think it's important to understand what we're looking at from a long-term perspective in terms of what can help us and what's harming us and how we need to change our lifestyles in order to live a long and healthy life. I do thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.